We've all heard of Jack the Ripper and other notorious killers, but there's one mystery that remains unsolved to this day: the mystery of the Chicago serial killer. For decades, authorities have been trying to catch the unknown killer who has terrorized the city since the 1990s. Despite their efforts, the identity of the killer remains a mystery. Hey there, Mystery Minds. Today, we are diving deep into the mystery of the Chicago serial killer who has been terrorizing the city for years. Despite the arduous work of investigators, this case remains unsolved. But the question remains, will we ever discover the identity of this killer? Join us as we explore the unsolved mystery of the Chicago serial killer and uncover the clues that could finally reveal the truth. The spine-chilling serial killing trend in Chicago. The Windy City has seen a chilling trend over the past 2 decades. Women, mostly from the south and west sides of Chicago, have been killed in a disturbingly similar fashion: strangulation. Between 1999 and 2018, numerous women have been killed in this manner, with no arrests or convictions in any of the cases. Are these murders part of a larger pattern or the work of one person, dubbed the Chicago Strangler? The Chicago Police Department denies the existence of a single killer, but there are some suspicious similarities between the murders. Most of the victims were African American, and all of them were strangled. Most of the murders also occurred in areas along the south and west sides of the city. This suggests that there may be a single killer, or at least a group of killers, operating in the Windy City. How many women have been murdered so far? For almost 2 decades, the cases of 75 women strangled between the ages of 18 and 58 in Chicago between 1999 and 2018 have remained unsolved. Each of these women was found dumped in Chicago's south and west side neighborhoods, usually in abandoned buildings or alleyways. Many had a history of sex work, and almost all were black. They were also killed brutally. Some were raped and beaten, others were bound and gagged, and some even had plastic bags tied over their heads. By the end of 2019, the police had only solved 24 of these cases, leaving the remaining 51 unsolved and the families of the victims without closure. The lack of media attention these cases have received is startling. Even though the violence and frequency of these murders are shocking, few have elicited much coverage. It's only been in recent years that these deaths have gotten a closer look. And some believe that a single serial killer, the so-called Chicago Strangler, could be behind the murders. The never-ending serial killing mystery of Chicago. The mystery of the Chicago Strangler has been looming for years. Thomas Hargrove, the founder of the Murder Accountability Project, MAP, believes that the 51 women killed in Chicago were the work of a single killer. With a well-tuned algorithm, Hargrove believes that patterns that police have missed can be found. The similarities in the cases are striking. Almost all of the victims were found out of doors, often in alleyways or abandoned properties, and 3/4 of the victims had a clear sexual component to their death. The Chicago police, however, are not so sure. They have looked over Hargrove's data, but believe that the evidence simply isn't enough to conclude that the Chicago Strangler is an individual serial killer. They have collected 21 pieces of DNA from about half the crime scenes, but the DNA is different in each case. To date, only one of the 51 murders has been solved. The mystery of the Chicago Strangler has left the loved ones of the victims frustrated and angry. They feel that the police are not trying hard enough to find the killer. Is the Chicago Strangler a serial killer? Is something even darker at play? If Hargrove's algorithm is correct, then the answer may soon be revealed. Until then, the search for the killer continues, and the people of Chicago wait with bated breath. Who's the actual killer? The 51 unsolved murders in Chicago have sparked a nationwide search for the murderer. For years, authorities have been searching for the killer, who has been nicknamed the Chicago Strangler. Unfortunately, nobody knows who this individual is, or if they are even a single individual at all. Detectives have also been looking into whether the killings are linked to similar cases in other cities, such as Gary, Indiana, committed by Darren Dean Van. However, serial killing murders are not linked with Van's doings. Even though the deaths of these women have been largely overlooked, a 3-part documentary on Discovery, plus entitled The Hunt for the Chicago Strangler, is aiming to bring attention to this ongoing mystery. The hunt for the Chicago Strangler is an attempt to uncover the truth about the unknown murderer who has been killing women in Chicago for years. It's been a long and winding journey, but we hope you've gained an understanding of this unsolved case. While the killer remains at large, the police are still searching for clues that could lead to their capture. So keep your eyes and ears open, because there may be more to this mystery than meets the eye. Thanks for watching. Until the day we can finally uncover the truth, stay safe.